So people keep asking me to make a video about Joe Dispenza's breath. I guess they don't want to buy the course or whatever. So what I'll do is I'll give you my version of one of the breaths that he does. He calls it pulling the mind out of the body, but I think it can also be referred to as going beyond the identification with thinking. We all think and feel based on what we think, and then those feelings create more of the same thoughts, and we're in this loop of thinking and feeling. And sometimes we might think that that's really all there is. But what he talks about in his courses is another dimension, or another quality, you could call it, besides thought. He calls it the quantum realm a lot of times. But you can think of it more practically as, is there a quality beyond thought that human beings can tune into? And so he uses the breath as a tool to reach this quality beyond thought, which he refers to as kind of the quantum, where everything originates from. And he uses the breath in many of his different ways to be able to tune into this quality. And then from there, to be able to go past any limitations that might be associated with thinking, to get beyond ourself. So just to focus now on the breath, he says first to put your finger on the top of your head. Just notice the feeling of the top of your head. Be aware of that area. And as you're aware of that area, you can begin to breathe slowly and steadily, deeply, kind of from the base of your spine. And as you breathe slowly in, you move your awareness from the base of the spine throughout the different areas of your body as it goes up. So he tells you to put your finger on the top of your head, so you can just be aware of the sensation on the top of your head, so you know where this breath is traveling to. It's traveling upwards. And what he incorporates is something known in Tibetan circles or Taoist circles as reverse breathing. Now, reverse breathing is simple. Instead of when you breathe in, the diaphragm moves down normally. Typically, when you breathe in, your diaphragm moves down from behind the rib cage, and your stomach gently pushes out because the diaphragm's moving down. So reverse breathing incorporates the practice of gently pulling or sucking your stomach in while you breathe in. And what you do is, since you're pulling your stomach in, contracting those lower abdominal, mid-abdominal muscles kind of to push your stomach in, you're also contracting those muscles, kind of like the Kegel exercise, if you have ever experience that. So you're kind of squeezing your sexual organs. Now, I would say you don't need to squeeze too hard. I would say in the beginning, just get used to gently contracting the stomach in and gently squeezing that pelvic floor as you're slowly breathing in. And as you do that, you move your awareness up as if it's moving with the breath, moving it through the spine, the stomach, lower abdominal, mid-abdominal, upper, through the chest, but also at the same time up the back, up the spine, and you're pulling your energy, or more accurately, you're moving your awareness with the breath as it fills the lower lung to the upper lung, and moving your awareness all the way up with the breath as though you're aiming for that area on the top of the head. So you gently can begin by moving the stomach in, lightly flexing that pelvic floor. And as you slowly breathe in, you're moving your awareness from the pelvic floor up into the lower abdomen, up the back of the spine, with a slow, continuous breath. So moving that breath upwards as you're gently contracting those lower abdominal muscles, mid-abdominal muscles, to bring your stomach in. And the idea is, from Joe's scientific perspective, is that as you push the stomach in, flex the pelvic floor, and keep those muscles contracted while you're slowly breathing in, the energy moves upwards. But not only that, it pushes the cerebrospinal fluid upwards. This is a fluid that goes up and down the spine every day. I think it has maybe a 24-hour cycle. So you're essentially speeding up that cycle. And the idea is that help opens this chamber in the spine, or where the spine connects to the skull, which essentially can help activate your pineal gland. That's the idea. So just to demonstrate a slow, continuous breath, bringing the stomach in, contracting those lower abdominal, mid-abdominal muscles, bringing the stomach in, gently flexing that pelvic floor, and bringing the breath up like so. Bringing your awareness up with the breath, reaching the top of the head, continuing to flex those abdominal muscles in that pelvic floor until you get to the top, holding at the top, keeping it flexed just for a moment, and then slowly releasing the air, letting go of the flexation, allowing your muscles to relax, breathing gently outward, letting all your air out. And then easily, gently bringing the stomach back in, flexing the pelvic floor as you breathe in one slow, continuous breath, allowing it to move up the spine, through the body, continuing upward, bringing the energy to the top of the head, holding for a moment, and then releasing the muscle contraction, And I like to think of it as the energy flowing almost back down as you release. And in certain Taoist practice, they have the energy moving naturally up the spine and then down the front. And they say that is the continuous movement of energy up the spine, down the front. Breathing in, flexing that lower abdominals, bringing your stomach in, even if it's just slightly, while flexing that pelvic floor. One continuous breath, moving it up the spine, through the stomach, through the chest, through the neck, up the back of the spine, up into the head, to the top of the head, flexing that lower abdominal and that pelvic floor, and then releasing, relaxing, letting go, and allowing the energy to flow. Continuing again, flexing those lower muscles, pelvic floor, stomach in, slow, continuous breath upward, moving through the body, through every part of the body, as it flows up to the top of the head. Holding for a moment, squeezing for a moment, and then releasing. And again, contracting those muscles. One slow, steady breath, moving your awareness with the breath to the top, holding for a moment, letting go. And again, contracting those muscles, moving your awareness with the breath as it continues upwards into the head, the top of the head, squeezing, holding for a moment, releasing. And again, breathing out all your air, contracting those muscles, bringing the stomach in, flexing the pelvic floor, allowing the breath to move upwards with your awareness, moving up the spine, through all the organs, through the neck, all the way to the top of the head, holding for a moment, and relaxing. Letting go, breathing all your air out, and beginning again, contracting those muscles, slow, continuous breath, followed by your awareness, moving it up through the body to the top of the head, holding for a moment, squeezing, and then letting go. Can you get into a flow where you're gently just moving this breath as you're contracting the stomach and the pelvic floor, bringing the stomach in as you breathe one slow, continuous breath, moving it up through the body with your awareness to the top of the head, holding, squeezing, and then letting go, breathing out all your air. And it's important to use your awareness, sensation, visualization to follow the breath as you contract the muscles, bring the stomach in, squeeze the pelvic floor, one continuous breath upwards, up the spine, up the stomach, through the chest, through the neck, on the way to the top of the head, pausing at the top of the head, squeezing and then letting go, releasing the contraction of muscles. allowing your body to settle in, coming down. Once again, bringing the stomach in, pelvic floor flexed. Slow, continuous breath moving with your awareness, traveling upwards on its way to the top of the head, pausing at the top of the head, squeezing as if you're pushing that energy upwards, and then releasing all your breaths. And the idea is that this breath, as you let go and breathe normally, will help bring you to a quality beyond thought. There may still be thoughts, but you'll notice they don't have such a grip, such an importance. And from that state, you can begin to create, consider a new possibility, a new identity, a habit you want to stop, quality that you want to create, a feeling that you want to embody and create more of in your life. And as you breathe naturally, just allow yourself to go into the space of forgetting who you are, who you think you are. Not worrying about where you are, what you have to do. Just entering this quality of pure potential and resting in that quality. Resting in that unknown, that quality of pure potentiality. And from that space, after resting there for a moment, you can observe whatever's going on for you. And ultimately, you can look at this space as almost a blank canvas where you can begin to develop the qualities, feelings, attitudes, behaviors that you want to introduce more of into your life. But you can also use this space to observe the patterns that are already operating in your life. Because it's important to see the patterns we're operating from and how those can be sometimes so automatic, so unconscious. So giving yourself the space to observe your living being without trying to change it. Observing it as a scientist would observe an experiment, not wanting to interfere with it. Because as you observe without interfering, you can see the true nature of something. And when you see the true nature of something, you then can understand it more deeply. You can feel it, see it, understand it, which ultimately equates to knowing thyself. What's going on moment to moment as you are living your life. Even just the act of observing in this way can help you understand and know yourself. The important part is when you see certain qualities, certain patterns, thought patterns, patterns of feeling, guilt, shame, regret, whatever they are, patterns that you may feel you want to change, it's important to just observe them at first, see them, get to know them, feel the quality of them, understand them, understand what's going on. And from there, you can make a decision if this is a pattern, a quality that's helping you in your life, that you want in your life. And if it's something that you don't think is helping you, the mere fact of observing it in this way can give you a new perspective into it and can dim the power these, call them negative habits, have over you. Again, tapping into this quality of awareness that is beyond thought, but that thought can still exist within. No need to overcomplicate it. No need to come to any conclusion. The only job is to just observe, be aware of what's going on for you. And from there, you may begin to have the opportunity from that insight, from that observation, that understanding, you may have the opportunity to let go of what's holding you back. Let go of what's taking all your energy with these patterns that aren't actually getting you to the qualities you want to embody in your life. And when you can see the possibility of letting those qualities fade away, like rain kind of washing off a dusty leaf, just letting them fade away, understanding they were created through certain conditioning, certain past events. Then you can begin to consider new qualities that you want to incorporate into your life.